welcome to the press conference for Novak Djokovic. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. Novak, good to get the first win under your belt. Just give us your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, it's good to win, obviously, and finish the night. As I said on the court, it went from my absolute best feeling, best game in the first set. Many break chances to break in the second, to my absolute worst feeling, in a long time. I had issues with the stomach and my energy completely dropped, and I was just, trying to survive on the court for quite some time. And then, after a while, the energy came back, and I could, go back playing from the baseline the way I played in the first set. So, credit to Alex, obviously, for winning the second set and playing solid. But I think that, I should be happy with the performance once I, was feeling good on the court, serving very, very, very well. That's one of the probably things that I would take away today as highlights of the game.
Timoni?
What I forget to do that. I wanted to ask about your hit with Serena before the tournament. I saw you after giving her a lot of encouragement and advice. How much? And obviously, I've seen you do that with other players. How much satisfaction does it give you to kind of share your wisdom, and also just how it must be quite nice to share those moments with a female player as well, if not?
Well, of course. I mean, it was the first time I got to hit with Rina, and basically the way I see it, all the success she has from this moment onwards is, biggest credit comes to me. Jokes aside, we have really good relationship as well. I know that she has a great team of people around her, a great support system, and it's not a surprise that she's been doing so well. And I love the personality. I love how she balances, off court, interest and character really comes out, and also on court being so fierce as a competitor. And she deserves to be where she is, number one in the world. I mean, she's been so consistent. And we had a little chat after the training session. She asked me a couple of questions, and of course I'm very happy to always share with anybody, as I was doing with a lot of the other male tennis players mostly. Obviously what we talk about stays between us, but I hope that it can serve them as a great, even if it's just an encouragement, even if it's something that they heard before, but hearing it from me maybe sounds different. It impacts them differently. So of course I'm honored to be in a position where the number one in the world comes to me, approaches me, and asks me some questions and advices and guidance. I mean, that's of course a very privileged position to be in. So we always, try to be available.
Howard?
Novak, you've spoken a lot about how much this tournament meant to you from a very young age. Curious, do you remember how old you were and where it was that you first set foot on a grass court? And what was your first impression of the surface?
It would be quite late in my development career, in my junior days. I think I was already... I think it was the first year that I played, because I never played junior Wimbledon. So the first year that I qualified here back in 2005 was probably the first year I stepped on the grass. And that was the year that I started working with my coach, Marian Vajda. The first match that we had together, the coach and the player, was in Netherlands. I still remember I played in one of the side courts, first round match against Vasquez, big serving German. 7-6, 6-7, 7-6. I saved 3 match points and won that match. And Marian was like, I mean, if this is going to be how the every match how every match is going to look like, then I'm gonna probably lose hair very quickly. And then very soon after that, I came to play qualifications at Roehampton, and I qualified, beating Wesley Moody, who was later that year or next year, one of the next years, champion in doubles. Big serve, and I kind of saved match points as well. I remember we had also interruption because of the dark, and then we came back the next day. My brothers came over, my parents, everyone, because Wimbledon was always the most special tournament in my life. So I always wanted to play the main draw, and it was a big chance. So I qualified, and I won a couple of rounds, and I entered the top 100 in the world for the first time. So that was actually the first year I stepped out on the grass, and I must say that it felt very natural for me to adapt to it. Even though I grew up on clay, in my country I played mostly on clay, but I, probably had the best results throughout my career on hard courts up to a certain point. But then, you can argue also grass court in terms of Grand Slam results is right up there with Australian Open, I would say. It's just that we on the tour play mostly on hard courts, and it's why, obviously results wise it's right at the top in terms of percentage of wins. But I always love playing on grass. I think it's not only that it suits my game, but and I'm not a natural serve and volleyer, but I do like to mix it up, and I think the grass really makes a player be more aggressive with his style. I think that mostly I would probably say that it's a motivating factor to me playing on the grass, because I've childhood days and always dreaming to be in Wimbledon and winning it. So when I'm here, it's like I always set my form so I can play my best tennis in Wimbledon. I just love every day spending in this tournament.
Novak, what do you make of your next opponent, Dan Evans, who uniquely has a 100% record against you from one match? But are you impressed by the way that he's not the tallest, he's perhaps not the fastest serve, but he's able to make a living as a tennis player with his different tricks and skills?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's super talented player, and a great competitor. Always backs himself up on the court, believes in himself. And playing, obviously against a Brit in Britain is it's never easy. Have to be ready for a great battle. And I haven't played him in a long time. I've played him. The only time we played was on clay, actually, and he beat me in Monte Carlo. So he uses his slice quite a lot, and I think that favors grass courts because the ball stays low. He can serve and volley. He chips the ball, comes in, mixes up the pace, and he's a really tricky opponent to play against. You don't want to have him in your draw really in the early rounds. But look, it's a good test. It's a good test for both of us. I think he's been picking his form up as well. I think his rankings are not doing justice at the moment. He deserves to be ranked higher. He's been a really tough player to face on any surface, particularly the grass and quicker ones. I know that because that's always the talk of the locker room, and he's one of the guys that you don't want to face on grass. But I look forward to a good challenge, and let's see what happens.
It's late. We're just going to take one more in English.
Hello, Novak. It's Anthony here from Quality Shot Tennis. You won almost 80% of your points at the net today. How pleased are you with where your net game is at the moment? And can you talk a little bit about the evolution of your net game, and also potentially, is that a shot that has only gotten better as your career has progressed? Can you talk about that?
If you go back at the very early years of my professional career, I was coming into the net quite a bit. Actually, I had that kind of tennis game style where I would take a short ball and just come in on any surface, really, particularly quicker ones. Then I kind of backed up a bit, and I wasn't really keen on getting to the net, and I was just playing a little bit more passive in the years to come. So it really does depend, you know. I think in the important points, sometimes you try to go for it, and then you really try to take the ball early and come to the net and maybe close the angles to your opponent. Depends who you play, really. But I always try to have all the shots in my arsenal, so to say. You know, I always try to be very versatile player who can adapt to any conditions, any surface, or any opponent for that matter. So I think it's important to be having a very complete game nowadays. We don't have that many serve and volleyers, you know, because the return game of players has improved so much, and the balls have gotten slower and bigger, and it's not easy to finish the points at the net. But nevertheless, on this surface, it does really help if you have confidence to come in and know how to play, how to position yourself. And I wouldn't say I'm a very natural volleyer, but I think I have, you're right, I mean, maybe in the last 5, 6, 7 years, improve that quite a bit and try to work on that serve and volley, particularly on quicker surfaces.
Okay, we're going to switch to Serbian questions now. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.